Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Fiona Houston, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mara Seaweed. So I set this company up a few years ago now, and with the vision to establish a global brand that harnesses the goodness of seaweed for food and human health. At the time, nobody was talking about seaweed, so I thought I was a little bit of a mad, crazy seaweed lady. But I've now proven that this vision is becoming right into the mainstream. So our mission is to nourish the body and soul of the population with seaweed. Our values, obviously, like everybody who's pitching here, is to take goodness from the sea that's sustainable and ethical. Our products all taste good, and they're good for the planet. So I took this idea and started making products. We're ticking all the boxes on where we want to be with food, plant-based, seasonings and ingredients, so healthy salt alternative, health and well-being, and unlike a lot of food brands, we actually are doing everything from harvesting the seaweed out of the sea to putting it on the shelf. So that has been a major source of innovation and a lot of hard work over the last 7 years. So what is incredible and really blows my mind about seaweed is how, well, I'm really passionate about seaweed, and for a lot of different reasons. Number one being it can help with climate change. It captures 50% more carbon than the tropical rainforest. It's an incredibly sustainable food source. It can be a healthy alternative to salt. It adds new flavor into your diet. And it helps with human health. It's got minerals in there that most women are lacking in because it contributes to your proper thyroid function. And all of these things are things that we, as a planet, need to address. So how did I get here? So I grew up in southwest Scotland on a farm with lots of siblings, out and about. I also it was in Gretna Green, which is where everyone used to elope to get married. So I grew up in this crazy entrepreneurial family business. And then I left there, went to Oxford, then we went to Washington, D.C., and I worked in journalism, I worked in the New York Times, and then I decided it was time to come home. And what struck me when I came back to Scotland is that we have all these incredible natural resources, and especially seaweed, and nobody was doing anything with it. So in 2008, a friend and I wrote a book called Seaweed and Eat It. It was stimulated by the question a Chinese friend of mine asked me, look at all that seaweed, why don't you eat it? Which got me thinking about 11,000 kilometers of coastline, a food source that in Asia is hugely valued, and why aren't we doing something with it here? So I set up Mara Seaweed. Now, fast forward 7 years, we have a range of seaweed flakes and powders. They're just a little bit of shameless promotion here. They're used as healthy salt, superfood seasonings. They're on, as of November this year, they are on the shelf in Tesco in the UK. We're on the Tesco Brand Incubator program, which for us is huge. There's only 9 brands on this program. We're on it for 2 years, and it really helps us to accelerate our growth. So the vision that I have for the company is to expand into seaweed every which way you can put it into food and into the human body while scaling the supply chain. So we have plant-based eating, which of course is right on trend at the moment. The thing about our products is it's adding nutrients into the diet, especially important for vegans because they are cutting out a whole bunch of essential minerals. So we have other products in the pipeline, like seaweed burgers and all sorts of things, which we want to grow now. So, and then other sector that we are developing products for is health and well-being. This product here is a superfood powder, which we're about to launch, but there's also other things that we want to get onto. Sports recovery, gut health, thyroid health, nutraceuticals. There's so much you can do with seaweed. It's so exciting. So on the supply chain, I think unlike a lot of food brands, because seaweed has had and still has a very immature supply chain, a lot of the innovation that we've done is how you take an artisan product that has never really been used in mainstream food, and now we have successfully launched it into the world's third largest retailer. We're already selling into the States, and we're also selling it as an ingredient into large-scale manufacturers. This has taken a lot of hard work. We have licenses for wild harvest in the northeast Fife, just near St Andrews. So this is under Crown Estate license. We basically have figured out how to do that safely and sustainably, and we can now scale that. We have options on seaweed farms. We really want to get into the cultivation side. We have IP on cultivating red seaweeds, which we did in tanks 5 years ago now. We have got all the technical accreditations now that you need technically for drying, milling, packing, etc. And this is where we started, is the expertise on what you do with seaweed, how you can make it into products, how do you use it, what are the flavours, what is nutritional, and that is really what everyone in my company is really passionate about. So we're currently based in the UK. We're also based in Ireland as well, and we have some of suppliers in Ireland. We want to become a recognised household brand. We want to expand into Europe. We have been selling into the States in 2016, and we want to launch into retail in the States in the next few years. We're also looking at China. We see there's a massive market for safe, sustainable, healthy seaweed that's not going to kill you, that is from the North Atlantic, that we can actually go into China with. So we see a huge opportunity, and we want to scale the business. I'm very ambitious about this business. We started off very small, but I always had this vision that I wanted this to be global. And as one of the few females that is pitching here today, we are looking for a substantial amount of investment to scale up the business. And we'd like your help to do it. We're looking for strategic partners. We're looking for investors who can help us. So I started off with a pun, so I'm going to finish with a pun. We'd like to know if there's anyone here, can you kelp us? So.
And on that point, you deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much indeed.